things that are bothering me about you this week. Number one, you play too much video games.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Number two, you play too much video games.
You're in the middle of it. You want to run? Go ahead. No one's stopping you. Stop complaining.
Number three, you played video games for like 2 hours before I even got home.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
Then I tell you, dude, you've been playing too much video games today. And you're like, no, I just got on like a half an hour ago.
I don't think he did it. But you know what? Even if he did do it, you know what I mean?
It's literally been like 5 hours. You've been playing video games for 5 hours.
Nice.
He's like, oh, we hung out today. No, we didn't. We got dinner for half an hour.
Yeah, boy.
The rest of the day, you've been playing video games. He's like, whoa, hanging out with video games.
What are you saying?
What is up, everyone? How is it going? We're just gonna go ahead and get right into it today. Like the video, subscribe. Let's do it.
What I'm about to tell you is a little difficult to open up about. It makes me very vulnerable because it's a bit of a sensitive topic, and to others it might not be sensitive at all, so you might be like, why? So please don't shame me or be rude. So I get triggered when my partner plays video games, and here's why. Reason number one, I think this triggers me, is because 2 of my past relationships have been with boyfriends that spent a majority of their free time playing video games. One of them, for example, I would be over hanging out with him and he would just be playing video games for hours, and I would be sitting there so bored just watching him play for seriously like 4 to 5 hours, maybe more. Another one of them, I didn't really have to watch him play much because he was always playing at his house when I wasn't there, but I was working all the time to try to build up a savings, and he did not have a job and lived with his parents and would just play video games nonstop. So I kind of felt like I'm working for my future, and which I hope is our future, and like working so hard, and you're not working at all because you're just playing video games. And then he answered with, I could become a professional video game player and make a ton of money.
Let me get this straight. This woman is over at her boyfriend's house watching him play video games, and she's bored. Why are you bored? Why don't you get a hobby or something? Something that really irritates me. This is something that I've seen over and over again is, yeah, some guys play video games. Sure, why not? I play video games. But whenever I've been in a relationship and I'm playing a video game and I look over, she's on her phone or on a device of some kind. And then even when I turn it off, she's still on her phone. So when are we going to have that conversation is what I would like, because they never throw that into the equation at all. I have seen some of these women that are so attached, so viscerally attached to their phone that they can't let go of it for a second. But no, we can't have that conversation. It's always about the guys and what they do in their free time. And excuse me, ma'am, I hate to break this to you, but you chose those men. You chose to hang out with those men. You knew what you were getting into. I know a lot of men that play a lot of video games. These women know the men they're choosing. You know, these women would rather go and find the guy that's 6 foot or find the guy that's super attractive. She said herself, this dude had, his parents had money. He didn't even have to work. He was chilling. So who are you to say what these men are going to do, are going to do and not going to do whenever you're the one getting in a relationship with them, wanting them to, change for you? Nah, you don't have it like that.
And at the time I was just like, this is not realistic at all. He's never become a professional video game player. I know there are many. Second reason I think it triggers me is the sound, the violence. I'm probably neurodivergent. I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but my mom has, my little brother has. I clearly have ADHD, and all of the sounds and everything really, it makes me have to rub my neck and be like, oh, I can't stand this. Thirdly, my partner has a very addictive and passionate personality, which I love this trait in him. It makes him, very ambitious, and when he's into something, he goes all in. But that trait towards some things that can be negative can also be bad. So if he is in a phase where he's playing video games, he can stay up really late playing the video game, and then I see a lack of sleep, and then the next day if we have plans, he's tired and doesn't want to do the plan. So it just affects the relationship. And I find this hard to talk about in a relationship because I don't want to be a controlling girlfriend and be like, you can't play video games. But pretty much I just don't want to be around it. Like, close your door, play in your bedroom where I don't have to see it. Has anyone else experienced this?
I'm sure a lot of women have experienced this, but here's the real kicker here. You're choosing to date these men. So why don't you date a man that doesn't play video games? It's not that hard. Just go find one. You're sitting there saying that it triggers you, and yet you're choosing to spend time with these types of men. I will never understand this mentality where these women, they invite these men into their life knowing everything about them, and still, like, do they want to change them? Like, people do not change like that. And look, you're not in any, I'm gonna have to change that. Every single one of these are funny. You're gonna have to deal with that on your own. Okay, these men are not gonna sit here and change for you. Like, well, why would they change for you? What are you doing? What are you doing for these men to have them change? I don't understand. Okay. And also, some of these women say these men are playing games for 5 or 6 hours. That's not how any of this works. There's a lot of downtime, lobbies, there's a lot of things happening. And then a lot of times you try to play and there's like an update that happens, and that takes a while. And then sometimes you can't even get into a lobby. It's just that there's a lot more that goes on. I would recommend to men that if you are a gamer, which is perfectly fine, hey, I support you. Make sure you find a woman that either games as well, or is at least not triggered by you doing something that you enjoy to do. Okay, because I'm gonna be honest with you, if you stop doing that because she wants you to, there's gonna be a lot of resentment. Okay, I've seen a lot of dudes that have like sold their PlayStation, don't even get me started on PlayStation 2s, but they're selling no, I do not support the selling of a PlayStation 2. Okay, let's not do this. We're not gonna do this right now. Keep your PlayStations. What you do is you keep the video game and you get rid of the woman. That is what I would recommend. But again, this is just my opinion. Okay, there's a lot of men out there that, and I've seen them online. These men will actually, why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that. All the while, these are the same men that paint their face and go to football games and cheer for their game. I think when it comes to this discussion about women not wanting men to do certain things, I think there is a lot of hypocrisy that happens, because how many times have men stepped in and told a woman like, hey, look, I don't really like you on social media all that much. You know, maybe you should not take those types of photos and post them, and maybe you shouldn't talk about our private life online for likes. You think you do that? And no, yeah, you're toxic. You're trying to control her. You're trying to silence her, and all the while she's saying that you can't even play Call of Duty. So figure that one out.
Anybody else just absolutely hates video games, and when their boyfriend plays video games, because I feel like I'm a bad girlfriend, but I just cannot stand it and I don't know what to do. Like, I tried multiple strategies of discouraging that habit, and I'm really trying to be more accepting and think about why does it trigger me so much and how can I reflect on this shit. But the truth is that it doesn't trigger me because he doesn't have time for me or because he doesn't put attention on me. I don't think so. I think what triggers me is the priorities. Like, why is playing with your friend your priority, you know? It's not even like, oh, you need to spend time with me. But I don't know. I just really hope there is somebody who can relate with me. Like, please relate, because I feel like the world's girlfriend ever sometimes.
Okay, there's a lot going on in this clip, and let's go ahead and start from the very beginning. You're gonna hear certain words that you heard in the last video, triggers, and my boyfriend, which is kind of wild. I don't know why you're dating this guy if you don't like anything that he does, but again, this is the whole accountability problem where women are not going to take an inward look in themselves. What they're going to do is they're going to project their insecurities onto others around them, and so she doesn't like what her boyfriend does, all the while she has plenty of I would say, even more damaging habits than he does just by watching this one little clip. And we're just going to start off by maybe the large quantities of stuff she's painting onto her face. That seems very habitual to me. If I was around a person like this, I would probably tell them to, maybe dial it back a little bit. Number two, the obvious injections and fillers and Botox and everything else that she has done to her face. That is probably a cause for concern, for maybe her boyfriend. But again, he can't say anything about this because that is controlling and insecure and gaslighting, and he's a jerk. So that's not going to happen. You know what? We're going to finish the rest of this clip. I kind of know where it's going to go, but let's hear her out, okay? I do not have to describe the hypocrisy in these videos because it's fully apparent, and it's very sad. It's very sad that some men will actually get with women like this thinking that, because at the start of the relationship, she probably didn't even have a problem with it. But then over time, these women, they change their mind, they get the ick, and something that he did for maybe 2 hours a day, now he's doing for longer because of how she is. And it's a vicious cycle. She doesn't understand that maybe she is contributing to what's happening in their relationship, but she's not going to think that way. She's going to blame the man. They always blame the man. Let's continue.
Just ranting all the time about it and being a bitch because I don't know how to handle it better. I just feel like I'm working on my dreams all the time. I'm so ambitious and hardworking, and I don't need anyone to praise me or whatever. I just want to feel like I'm not alone in it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to cook nice dinner, eat healthy, exercise, run my business, have friends and social life, be a good girlfriend. But I just don't feel the support. Like, why don't you just cook dinner one day? Because you play with your fucking friend. I don't know if this is a reflection of me being a bad person or if it's really just not a me problem. Like, if you have any tricks, what the fuck do you do? Also, I'm literally just putting makeup to look pretty because I feel like trash being all the time home. Working. Just want to feel like a human being. Anyway, please let me know if your boyfriends play video games as well, because I'm just concerned. I don't know. I feel like video games alter the fucking brain and make the person just out, not so present anymore, and just makes me sad. Also, I feel like nobody really talks about this, so let's freaking talk about it. Okay, Slay, have a great day.
You think video games rot the brain? You haven't heard of TikTok, have you? You heard of TikTok? I think there is a problem. I think that there is a big problem with this type of mentality where you can get online, get on a camera, on a social media platform that you're obviously addicted to, and spew your complete hatred for your boyfriends. You call it a habit, but it's just his hobby. He spends a few hours a day. He gets home from work. He's working 50 hours a week. Comes home. He wants to kind of unwind. But no, you're in his ear because you work from home. You never leave. So what does he do? Fires up the PlayStation, plays a little 2K. No big deal. Well, guess what? It's triggering to her. It's toxic. She hates it. She wants you to change. Think about that for a minute. This is a harsh reality a lot of men have to look forward to, because some of these women, just like this woman, just like the other woman. Where's that other woman? Just like this woman right here. This woman's the same one. Okay. I'm not saying all women are the same. I'm just saying these two women, there's a lot of similarities, and they are, for one thing, they're dating the wrong freaking dudes. They need to get rid of their where is the, please, ladies, no women watch my content at all, but just in case someone happens to stumble in here, look, quit getting with these dudes just because they look good and just because they're 6'2" and just because they're paying your bills, and then sit there and complain about them playing video games. Okay, that's not how any of this works. You have to lack any sort of social common sense to think that that's a good idea. All you have to do is just search online. You can search on Reddit, you can search on Facebook, Instagram, women hating men playing video games. It's a thing. These women hate men playing video games. But then ask yourself, how come this first chick decided to date 3 dudes that were active gamers? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna date 3 dudes. This chick right here, she's going to date 3 different dudes that were active gamers, you guys. and then sit here and complain that it triggers her, that it gives her PTSD from Call of Duty. She gets PTSD from Call of Duty. Not only is she the victim in all this, but she's also blaming all of this on men that she's choosing to put in her life. This is a lot to unpack, and it's actually very alarming to me, because she obviously doesn't understand that this is all because of her. All she has to do is just find a man that doesn't play video games. It's not that hard. But finding a man that doesn't play video games is about as hard as finding a woman that doesn't post on social media her body. I think it's kind of about the same difficulty level in finding those. What do you think? But that's going to be the end of today's video. Like the video, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.